ContraDB.com. Log in. Foo. All right, this is ContraDB. It is for Ruby on Rails class. It uses a database, relational database on the back end. There are three important entities in the database: dances, the most important type we'll come back to, choreographers, and users. And users are important because we're using Devise for user management. You're currently newly logged in as demo day. You can do all the things you can expect, like change your name, change your email address, get password reminders, that kind of stuff. Log out. But the core mission of this site is to index, find, and share contra dances. And for that, we are going to talk about dances. So here is basically a dump of all the dances in the database. And you can look through them. You can find all the dancers by a certain choreographer by clicking on that choreographer's name. You can take certain actions on the dances, like you can view the dance. Let's look at the Baby Rose variation. You can edit the dance. That brings up this editor, and you can do all the things to the dance. More on that later. You can copy the dance, which just does the same thing we just saw, but instead of it saving over it, it makes your own private copy. So if I want to make my own copy of Summer Sun, I'll just call it Summer Sun Variation, or I could call it whatever. I could call it Winter Sun. And there it is. So that's copy, and there's trash. So let's trash this, and let's talk about the rich interaction of creating dances. So I'm going to create a new dance. I'm going to call it Box the Nat Contra. And this list is dynamically generated from the database with all the choreographers in the database. It's by Becky Hill. The formation, this is a text field for dance nerds. It's improper. Then these 8 fields, or this row of fields here, is figure editor number 1. This next row is figure editor number 2, on down to figure editor number 8. This is helpful. All this Chrome helps you enter a dance quickly. So Box Nat starts with neighbor. You bounce and swing for 8 beats. And then find your partner, and you, actually, sorry, you don't bounce and swing, you bounce and box the nat. That's why it's called Box the Nat. Then figure number 2 is partner, bounce and swat the flea for 8 beats. And then for 16 beats, you balance and swing your neighbor. Then ladies, L-man right in the center 1.5 times. Then partner swing. Then everybody chain. Hey, chain's not in there. Why is that? Everybody? Oh, everybody right, left, through. Haha. So you can see the menus are dynamically generated based on the move. Finally, you do ladies chain. You use note fields to make an unusual figure. Look for new neighbor. This is so that my users who are non-technical can extend the taxonomy of the dance moves in a way that won't spoil the database's ability to search on all these fields here. So what's really going on here is this row is a bunch of JavaScript fields that have listeners. Whenever any of the listeners is triggered, we take that field, we take that collection of fields, we extract the data, we create a JavaScript object, and we then render that object as a string in a hidden text field, which gets sent to the database. So we do that 8 times, 1 for each of the 8 figures. Boom, create dance. The database now has an internal JSON string for all these figures, and in the dance viewer, it has a more human readable form of that. This is the dance view, by the way. You can print this out and take it to a dance and call your own dance. Yeah, so that's the dance editor. That's the most complicated part of the project. A lot of it is written in CoffeeScript, which I really liked. It's a great improvement on JavaScript, and feel pretty good about it. It's about 200 lines. So that covers the dances. We haven't talked about choreographers much. We've got this choreographer view here. The only real action most users can take on choreographers is just look at all the dances they've made or make a new dance for them. But there is an administrative user that can go through and edit the choreographers' names and delete them. And so that was interesting. One design decision I made was choreographers are going to be global. I'm not, like, user Bob is not going to have his list of choreographer, and user Sue's not going to have her own list of choreographers. Just everybody's going to share the same choreographers because lots of people may be doing data entry on this. And the administrator has some ability to moderate that once they're created. But for the average user, all they can do is create. They can't edit or delete. So that's dances, choreographers, users. That is the core of this project. Thanks for watching.